My name is Nicolas. I go by Nico, and I just turned 19 years old. I am calling from the United States, more specifically Orlando, Florida.
Perfect. And Meryl, yourself?
Hi, I am Meru. I am 18 years old and I'm from the Netherlands.
Perfect. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is Nicholas, especially as for yourself, is to understand what kind of struggles did you have before Adonis School, specifically when it comes to the dating slash relationships side of life.
Got it. So up until senior year of high school, until I was about 17, I was incredibly overweight and socially anxious. Couldn't talk to anyone. Couldn't even order food at McDonald's because I was so scared. I was constantly having to ask my parents to speak to people for me, speak to my teachers. I couldn't do anything like that. I was very unattractive. But of course, I still had an interest in girls, but of course, I couldn't get any. There was a point that this one girl was really nice to me, the first girl that was ever nice to me. And of course, I developed a crush. And of course, she never ended up liking me. By little, I got into self-improvement type videos, even the basic ones like just go to the gym, bro, take care of your skin. And little by little, I guess I became a little bit more attractive. I used to have hair, so it was a little bit more attractive now. I just buzzed my hair off recently, but anyways, yeah, that was up until senior year of high school until I was 17, 18. And then I graduated high school. I still hadn't done anything with a girl. I was really bothered by this one girl that rejected me for the whole year, but if I feel like if I wasn't holding on to that, I would have probably had more experiences with other girls. But anyways, I graduated high school and then I went to university slash college. My first semester was online, and so I was more attractive to girls, but I wasn't take. I just wanted experience. I didn't look for fulfilling relationships or anything like that. So I got dating apps, of course. I spent so much time and effort on dating apps. That's how I began my experience with girls, how I got my first kiss. But anyways, when I finished my online semester, I went to the actual campus, and I guess that's when I interacted with the most girls. And it was fun, but of course didn't feel nice. It was empty, all of that, as you can imagine. And I was still doing a ton of bad habits, eating bad. I have never drank or partied. I'm pretty thankful for that. I never felt the need to, but I never had sexual experiences with any of them. The most I did was kiss, because I have been brought up religious and I've always thought about connecting souls with other people. I think that's very real. But I kind of, maybe if I kept going down that path, I definitely feel like I would have had sexual relations with other girls. But yeah, up until that point, I really loved female validation. I loved all of that. I loved just being around them, even though they weren't the best people. I just liked how they looked and that they were girls. And because of that, I spent so much time on dating apps. But then there was a point where I just wanted more and more and more attention, more and more female validation and all of that. I downloaded this app. It's like meant to be for friends. But it's not really for friends. It's like a dating app. It's called Yubo, and that's where I met her. Yeah, I know. How can I meet such a nice woman from that? I don't even know. But yeah, back days I was still kind of degenerate. Uh, and there was this one time I met up with this girl from Tinder, a Polish girl. It was her last night in town. She was going back to Poland, and she was. I consider her very pretty, and well, she gave me the opportunity to have sex, and then I could have, but because of one video that I watched from Hamza, I would think it's called Reject Degeneracy, Embrace God. I feel like if it wasn't for that video, I would have engaged in that situation.
Yeah.
But well, back in around that time, uh, that's I met, like I said, I met Meru in that app, but we were actually just friends for a while, and then we talked on FaceTime, and I was going through like a self-improvement depression. Before talking to her, I was going to the gym, meditating, journaling, doing fine in school, starting to learn skills. But that I don't know. I stayed up talking to her for too many nights in a row, lost all my sleep. My body started feeling physical pain, and I just let myself go again. I started eating bad. I started doing everything like that, and that was probably the biggest rut in my life. It was like about 2 months, but in those 2 months, I was talking to her like she was my best friend. We determined that since we live so far apart, we were never going to go into a relationship or anything like that. But that summer, I went to England because my sister was giving birth. Now I have a niece. And since that's only about like an hour flight from Amsterdam, she came over to England and we traveled around for a week. And then I went back to Amsterdam and traveled around for another week. And so we spent 2 weeks together. And I don't know, we became more than friends after that. I got to know her better, learned how she was feminine, the caring. I was speaking to her about self-improvement. She told me, I remember specifically, are you willing to dedicate your life to self-improvement? She said yes. Um, and I really started liking her. And
Beautiful.
after that, uh, since we live so far apart, I told her, we should stop talking. I really like you, but I don't think we can even be friends because of how we feel about each other. So we were about to stop talking forever, but then we reconnected again. Then I thought, and then I posted in an Adonis School a post that said, should I be friends with her? And I told her I met this girl. She's this. She's this. She's so amazing because of that. But we live so far apart. And I asked if we should be friends. And they all told me, no, dude, stop being so dumb. Just be with her. And so they convinced me, and I asked her to be my girlfriend. And now, well, here she is. Today is actually our 1 month.
Beautiful. That's so cool. Meryl, when you first met Nicholas, what was your impression of him?
To be honest, I thought he was kind of like a playboy, just because we just met. He was trying to impress me and just act all cool, and we just didn't go that deep into anything. Yeah, we just talked surface level things like about hobbies and what you do day to day and which college he went to and what I did. So I didn't have the best first impression of him. It wasn't bad. He didn't seem like a bad person, but it wasn't like how I know him now. So that's really different.
One thing I noticed was Nicholas said that from the get-go, you, Meryl, were quite feminine, quite like a decent person. And it's not something you see often nowadays, both in men and women. You don't really see young men being masculine or women being feminine. Why do you think it is that you yourself have this feminine personality to begin with? Like, was it through your parents, through your culture? What was it specifically?
Um, I would say it's maybe because I'm a bit shy and I keep to myself a lot. Because I feel like with the area I've grown up with, and not necessarily my parents, but just my environment, I wouldn't be like that at all. But I think it's mostly being shy and just more focusing on myself than on others, and being not being able to like go out and party all the time, and just being too shy for that in general.
Yeah,
But it
but
did made me in like who I am now.
perfect. That's really refreshing to hear because nowadays it's like if you don't drink, if you don't do drugs, and if you don't party, you're the weird one. And that's okay. I
Yeah.
tell young men in Adonis School, we are weird. We're weird by definition because we don't conform to society, the society's degenerate expectations of us. And Meryl, one question for yourself. Nicholas said that he watched one of Hamza's videos, specifically reject degeneracy, embrace God. And then obviously Nicholas joined Adonis School, where he started to interact with our brothers. What's your opinion on Hamza, Adonis School, in specifically when we think of like self-improvement for young men?
I haven't seen that much of it. I've known like what Nico have told me, and we watched one video together. But I do think like that it's like I haven't seen any problem with it, and it's good that men or boys have a role model they can like look up to, or like having a good example instead of like some of the stereotypes you see nowadays.
Yeah, perfect. Now, last question, Nicholas. You said that, if you hadn't met Meryl at the right time, or if you had continued to pursue, like, on those dating apps, it's quite likely you would have started to have some form of relations with girls, whether that's just casual relationships, sex or whatever. But now you're in a committed relationship, something that's meaningful with Meryl. What impact do you think that's had on your life, specifically when it comes to your own masculinity, like your own self-improvement? Does this inspire you to continue down self-improvement? Are you happy that this has happened?
Being in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Just the fact of her being there motivates me to do what I need to do because we always talk about our future, our children, where we're going to live. I know I have to do the work now so we can enjoy a life in the future, a good life in the future.
Perfect.
And her, yeah, her just being there, it's a constant reminder of of having to do the work and yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of motivation and accountability too.
brilliant. It's something I said in one of my masculinity calls. One of our brothers asked us around this topic, women. And I said, for a masculine man, your main purpose, your main priority in life should always be your work. That doesn't just mean work like when you go to the office or your business. It's like, what is your contribution to humanity? That should be your purpose. And the woman comes later. You cannot attract women, or at least a high quality woman, by chasing her. If Meryl is a high quality feminine woman, then she will demand that you be a high quality masculine man, because like attracts like. So improve yourself first. Become this strong, dominant man. And then you will attract the feminine, beautiful women. A woman that's fit to be your wife. A woman that's fit to be the mother of your children. And if I'm talking to you guys, it seems like that's the route you want to go down, like something traditional, like marriage and kids. Am I right?
Correct.
Beautiful.
Thank
Can
you.
I say something like 10 seconds?
Yeah, yeah,
I
go
also want
ahead.
to say a principle that Hamza definitely helped me with this relationship is authenticity.
Hmm.
Stop trying to be cool and all, just be 100% honest. And and that's why what helped me with her, because I think we're so incredibly compatible that if I were to hide aspects of myself, we wouldn't have gone to the stage we're in. So yeah,
Yeah,
the Hamza calls, he constantly talks about authenticity so we can find the right partner. That 100% helped me
yeah.
with her.
100%, I agree. When you find the right person that you connect with on an emotional, intellectual, spiritual level, your imperfections as a person is what attracts them towards you because they don't just see you as you are, they see your potential. Nicholas, if the impression you've given me right now is that you are someone that's not going to stop in your pursuit of masculinity, becoming the strong, dominant man. And clearly, Meryl has seen that potential in you, which is why she's now with you. And that's just beautiful to see. So, thank you guys. This has been a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's